resources that we use in-house and fill with resources that we've built based on the best practices of our most successful partners. Everything from email templates to pricing guidelines, sales presentation templates, a full ITIL disaster recovery plan, proposal templates, white papers. There's a 14-page ebook in here that lays out the best and most successful conversion tactics that our partners have used that we've gathered from our 1,000 or so partners. So really a wealth of information that you need to help drive interest in your product, convert customers to paying customers, support those customers, and upsell them. Then also sales support, so going around the circle a little one step further. Our sales organization is also quite unique in that our team is set up the partner specialist, and you're probably already assigned to a partner specialist. You may not know that, but if you're at today's webinar, then you're assigned to one of our partner specialists. Their job in life is really to work with you to sell your customers. So they are the people that will recruit you into the partnership program here at SOS. But after that, they become your key sales resource, so that they actually work with you to sell your clients, particularly when you've got, say, large clients or early on in your product rollout when you're still learning how to position and sell this. The SOS personnel can augment your sales team and help you really convert on this. From a training standpoint, we've got trainings that go on every day, both interactive and, of course, pre-recorded. And then support. Our support infrastructure runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week for your customers, and for you it runs 24/7, and that's based on, there's both phone support, ticket support, and chat support. So which partners are successful is another very common question that we get. And I think I've already really covered a lot of this, but the most common vertical markets resellers are selling into are medical and healthcare because of the HIPAA regulations, financial services because of the Sarbanes-Oxley regulations, and then legal, government, and education are the next three biggest markets at the moment. In terms of selling online backup purely by business needs, so if your audience is more of a general small business audience, then obviously the lead way of selling the solution is just as a general disaster recovery and archiving solution, and then also some more point applications, like, for example, laptop fleet protection. If you do a survey of the businesses in your neighborhood, I think you'll discover that most of them are not backing up their laptops, and that includes global behemoths like IBM, for example, do not have an enterprise-wide solution in place to back up their laptop fleet, which is quite astounding. But laptop backup is a challenge, and a challenge that online backup solves very nicely. SOS actually has a sister brand, laptopfleetprotect.com, which is focused almost purely on backing up laptop fleets. And so we've got a solution that is very, very tailored and targeted at laptop fleet backup. And then we've talked about most of these other applications already. So skipping through to, in the interest of time, I want to show this. This is what we call an ROI model. So, but this is a historical looking one. This is looking at what one of our partners has actually done. Now, one of the things you should do today after this webinar is obviously you're going to call in to register for the Kindle giveaway. But secondarily to just registering for the Kindle, you should ask the partner specialist to do an ROI model for you. And what that entails is they'll ask you 10 or so questions and plug that into a model. And those questions are about your customers. And that will help them to give you a range of the type of revenue and cash flow you can make from selling online backup. So it's our way of showing you whether or not this is a good fit for you, and it's our way of vetting or not if you sort of which partner program here at SOS you qualify for. But most of our partners are up and running and profitable within a few months. This particular partner, as you can see, has built a revenue stream of $70,000 and profit on that of $58,000. His cost to us has been 12 grand. So quite astoundingly profitable. Now, I'm not for a minute suggesting that you can, it's an easy thing to achieve 82% gross margin. You may not be able to do that. It's more common for our partners to make 50 to 60% gross margin, which is still an excellent margin on products sold. Another thing to highlight here is pricing. Pricing guidelines in this space are a little bit confusing because there are so many different price points being used. The most successful price points we see are when you do all-you-can-eat backup plans. What I mean by that is total business protection. If for example, a backup plan for if you're For a company that has between 5 and 10 employees, $500 a month. Between 10 and 20 employees, $750 a month. I.e. not selling it on a per gigabyte basis, but really just selling as a total business solution. Talked about the rebranding. On screen here is another example of both marketing support we give you and the product rebranding. So our vulnerability scanner is a small utility that will quickly, and when I say quickly I mean in under 30 seconds, analyze the PC it's on and report back with the amount of data that it discovered. And it's a very useful marketing tool, so this is something you can distribute widely to as many people as possible, and when they click this button they're going to go to your website to get a trial version of your product. Just another type of marketing tool that we can bring to bear, and there are many tools and utilities like this. I think you'll find that the support we give to partners on the marketing front is unparalleled. Our account management team, I haven't talked about this, but in terms of depth of support, when you become an SOS partner, there are no fewer than 4 people assigned to you. There's your partner specialist, there's your partner delivery team consultant, and his job is to work with you to analyze your business and your products and then customize and tailor the SOS technology to your business. So it's their job to get you in the market essentially, and they'll work with you for 2 or 3 weeks after you become a partner to go through that process and get you a fully branded solution, the websites, the e-commerce portals, get everything working in a way that makes sense for you. There's then your account manager who's responsible for the overall life cycle relationship between SOS and your business, and then your support team leader who's the person responsible for the support health of your account. So overall 4 different people working to make sure you're successful, and I don't think there's any other company that dedicates those kinds of resources to their partners. And again, it comes from the fact that this is all we do. We are only successful if our partners are successful. So why SOS? Well, technology. I think we can very legitimately lay claim to being a technology leader of the space. Price point, we won't be beaten on price, so in terms of your supply cost, it'll be lower from us than from anybody else. Delivery and support infrastructure, we're fanatically dedicated to supporting our partners and making sure our partners are successful. And at the end of the day, it's a business decision. By working with us, you can add a high margin recurring revenue product to your business mix, and you can be selling it in just a couple of weeks. So that brings us to the end of the presentation component of the webinar. We'll start the Q&A in just a second, so if you've got any questions, please do start asking them now. Prior to that, though, just the details of the Kindle giveaway. To register for the Kindle giveaway, call in. The number is on screen. It's 877-896-3611. If you're outside of the United States, the number is +1 310-878-2626. And quote the Kindle promotion code to say you're on one of the webinars. Kindle promotion code this week is KDX9064. All right, so let's turn to the questions now. The first question is from David. Were you affected by the recent Amazon hosting outage? I'm really glad somebody asked that, David. Absolutely not. We have great disdain for online backup companies that leverage something like the Amazon cloud because it's so inappropriate for the type of business data protection that we do. And we sort of don't take them particularly seriously and never have. And I think what happened last week is the reason why. So the Amazon public cloud's a wonderful service for certain types of applications. It's not good for business-grade backup. And so those hosting companies that do leverage S3 had a lot of trouble last week, and we certainly did not. We own and control all of our technology from the software down to the iron that runs that software. And it's an end-to-end application stack that we control, including the hardware and the infrastructure. Hope that answers the question. The phone number again, David, is +1 for the USA, 310-878-2626. Thomas asks, do you have a tool for figuring out what the backup size would be and how long the backups would take based on their connection speed? So Thomas, yeah, I actually showed the tool. Just go back a few slides. On screen here's the tool I was referring to. We call it our vulnerability scanner, and its job is very much to do exactly what you just described. Analyze the PC it's running on and come back with, you can see in this middle picture, it's analyzed the PC and broken out what it found into different categories, documents, images, music, video. So that's the very purpose of this. It's to help you show your customers their exposure and their liability and see how much, see how much data and risk they've got. Okay, next question is from Jason. Is there a startup cost involved to partners? Jason, it depends on the type of partner you become. For partners who make commitments up front, they get a much lower supply cost, and so they'll make a lot more profit. But there are other partnership programs where there is no upfront cost. So call in and talk to one of our partner specialists to get an idea of what makes sense for you. And we don't have any more questions yet. But some people have actually raised their hand. There's no need to raise their hand in the tool. Just go ahead and type your question. So I'll answer questions in as they come through. So just use the questions tool and go to webinar to ask your question. Got a question here. How long does it usually take a partner to be profitable? It's a good question. It varies by it varies by partner. A lot of partners will join us and be profitable almost immediately because they've got latent demand from existing customers. Other partners will take a couple of months to spin up and become profitable. Because you've got such high gross margin in the business, like 50% gross margin, you don't need to have many sales for it to start to become a very profitable part of your business. Kim says, please position against SimForm. Kim, I'm not even familiar with SimForm, which the fact that I'm not familiar with them indicates to me that they're probably not a particularly large player in the space. So no, but if you call in and talk to one of the partner team, they'll be very happy to analyze SimForm for you and tell you sort of where they fall down compared to SOS. Jason asks, do you think this can replace Microsoft Online Services? Jason, in what particular way? I mean, Microsoft doesn't have really a cloud backup solution to date. So at the moment, most of our partners are actually Microsoft resellers. Most of our partners are Microsoft shops that are deploying SOS, usually to back up on-premises Microsoft software. So they're using it to back up Microsoft networks or back up file servers or database servers, etc. But if you can give me more information on what you're talking about there, Jason, I can try and do a better job of answering your question. Stephen asks, does SOS backup changes or full backups? Is that significant? Stephen, it uses two levels of deltering. So it's an incremental backup engine. Day one, it's going to compress all your data and ship that to the cloud. On day two, it's going to figure out which files changed, right? Then it's going to go another step. It's going to figure out not only which files changed, but which pieces of the files changed. And it's only then going to ship the incremental difference between those particular files. What that yields is a very, very, very small data packet that needs to be transferred on days 2 through N, meaning that your subsequent backups are very fast. That first backup can still take days, so that is something you've got to know. It's a problem with online backup as a whole. It's getting a lot better as bandwidth is improving, but that first backup can still take days. David asks, do I have an opinion on Jungle Disk? Not particularly, David. They're a small company. They've been around a while. They leverage Amazon's back-end. They don't have a particularly strong partner program, so they're a lot smaller than us, so they don't really compete with us, but yeah, that's sort of the extent of my opinion. Michael asks, what training tools are available to help get salespeople up to speed with the product?